Oh, hi. Welcome to my channel. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sitting down, oh my god, for the first time it feels like in 20,000 years and 7 days. Today I'm going to do two tutorials using Today I'm going to be doing two looks with the NYX Such a Know-It-All palette. This came out recently and I feel like it didn't get very much hype on like Instagram and Twitter and just generally in the makeup community. But when I saw it at Ulta, I thought it looked pretty interesting. Not only because there were some fun colors in here, but also because it includes some contour and blush colors. And I hadn't seen that in this type of a NYX palette before, so I wanted to give it a try. And I also figured that if you were not going to pick up this palette, that this is something that is fairly dupable, so you can still follow along with the looks if you wanted to. So the plan is to do two looks today. I'm also going to do a little bit of a review at the end, talking about my thoughts on the palette and how it performed. I will timestamp everything in the description down below. I'll also list everything else I use on my face in the description down below. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind, because it's very good for me. And yeah, that's why. That's why. It helps me know that you like this type of a video. It helps my channel. I really appreciate it. Also, if you're new around here and you've been lurking through a few videos and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and do that. I would like that too. And I think you would like it as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't tell you to do it because I don't want you here against your will. There's no point in that. I want you to know before we get into this that it was very difficult for me not to do looks that were just like full on holiday looking because of the fact that I'm actually filming this before Christmas, so I'm still in holiday mode, even though you're seeing this after Christmas and you're going to be so sick of holiday looks. So I'm trying really hard not to, just FYI. The next book club series starts next week. If you haven't heard, the information for that is in the description down below. I think that's all we need to talk about that before we get into it. So let's just start look number one with the NYX Such a Know-It-All palette. The first look, I've been having like an icy winter bitch moment lately where I've really been enjoying like icy blues. I think for the first look, we're going to go in that general direction. And to do that, I'm going to go into one of the grayish mid-tone shades to start to blend out the crease. I haven't done anything even remotely creative in like a week and a half because I was sick and I wasn't really filming. And then I wound up filming some stuff that didn't require me to do like creative makeup, and I just feel like, do I even know how to do this anymore? I'm just grabbing that grayish mauve shade. I'm going to put it through my crease, bring it up a little bit higher than my crease, and blend it toward my brow as usual. I'm just using circular motions to blend it upward. And I'm going to blend it out even more with a clean brush. I'm going to take my MAC 221S. And I'm going to go into this more medium gray shade right here, and we're going to start deepening the crease with that. I'm also going to take a little bit of that and pack it on the outer corner of the eye, and a little on the inner corner too. I'm going to grab my little Sigma E36, and I'm going to go right into this matte black shade. I'm going to bring that through the crease. Using the smaller brush just helps us keep it like deeper into the deepest part of the crease, so it doesn't cover up all of the gray tones that we just put down. And I'm bringing it just a little bit above my natural crease line, so that when we cut the middle in a little bit, still see that dark shade. And on the inner corner too, just to give that a little bit of depth. I'm going to take my MAC 221 again and go back into the gray shade because I feel like I could have brought the gray a little bit further up onto the lid. So I'm just going to pack a little bit more of that onto the lid area. I'm going to grab some of my Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer in the shade 30NN, my NABLA Cut Crease Maker brush, and just do a little spotlight cut right in the center. When I do this, I like to keep my eye open so that way I can see that the cut is going to be visible with my eyes open. And then I'll kind of tip my head back and flatten my lid out to even it out when I need to. I'm gonna take my ring finger and just pat the edges of that. Now that I have that space down in the middle, I'm going to use it to showcase this blue shimmer right here. I'm gonna pick some of it up on my finger initially and pack that down in the center. And then once I get up toward like the cut in the middle, I'm going to switch to a flat brush with a round edge so I can get the shape of that in there nice. For the very center and the top part of the cut, I want to highlight it with something outside of this palette, because something I do think that this palette is lacking are some bright shimmer shades. It does have one champagne shimmer here, but it's not anything that would really make a look pop. So I'm going to reach for one of my Steel a Little White Lash shadows. This is the color Lilac Legend. I think it's going to look really nice over this blue. I'm going to pick it up on that same brush. This is the NABLA Lash Line Smudger brush. I'm going to pick it up with that, put it in the center of the lid, and then edge it up against that cut crease area so that it gives a little bit more contrast between the blue and that black. I concealed and powdered underneath my eyes. I'm gonna put a dark navy pencil through the waterline. This is Sabbath from Urban Decay. On a beige number 7, I'm gonna go back into that matte gray shade, sweep that underneath the lower lash line, bring it up to meet the top. A lot of that tends to be like blending away on the lower lash line. Really not sure why. Shouldn't make too much of a difference because we're gonna go in with the black again, but worth noting that sometimes that gray just blends right the fuck off your face. I'm picking up the black shade again on a pencil brush. Just gonna go underneath the lower lashes again with that. Do basically the same thing, but just keep it a little bit more concentrated this time. Blend that into the gray with the BH number 7 that we used first. And for a little touch of spark, a little frosty kiss on the bottom, I'm going to take the same Lilac Legend again. This time I'm going to pick it up on a Makeup Geek pencil brush. This is just a concentrated, very small pencil brush. I'm going to pop that on the lower part of the inner corner. Oh, I put too much. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I'm just going to blend that toward the center on the lower lash line. I'm going to go do the same thing on the other eye. I'm going to add some lashes and we'll finish this off with some cheek products from this palette as well as a lip. Okay, I added House of Lashes Stella Luxe, and now I'm going to go into this shade here and try using it as a contour. I remember back in the day there was a NYX blush that everybody used as a contour shade, and this kind of looks like it, and I'm wondering if it's just the same blush in this palette. I'm taking that on a BH number 4, just putting that in my cheekbone area to add some shadow. I think this is, what the hell, does anybody, if you remember the name of the NYX blush shade that all of our asses used to use to contour, please leave it in a comment down below because it is escaping me right now, and I used to use it all the time. But that is actually a fantastic contour shade. I mean, it's not going to be a contour shade on everybody because it is a little bit on the lighter side, but for me that works quite well. Was it Taupe? Was it NYX Taupe? I'm going to take my Luxe 522 and I'm going to go into this blush shade on the corner here. Oh, that's not as potent as I thought. Let's grab a little bit more. Pop a little bit on the end of my nose because that makes me feel like a cutie pie. I'm gonna hop off camera and add some highlight. I'll have everything that I didn't use on camera in the description listed for you and linked and all of that in case you're curious, but I'm just trying to, you know, cut down the time a little bit, and then we'll pair this with the lip. As far as the lip is concerned, it is definitely a juicy nudes kind of a day. So I'm gonna grab the HAUS Laboratories lip pencil in the color Rule. And I'm gonna go into the center with the NABLA Creamy Dreamy lipstick in the color Hedonist. And this is the first look. For look number 2, I want to get a little bit more colorful, but also added some of the neutrals. So I'm going to put a lot of colors through the crease to begin. I'm going to take my BH number 5 and I'm going to start by going into this kind of coral salmon color right here. I'm going to put that on the inner half of my crease area and bring that toward the bridge of my nose. That color is really nice. It's very pigmented, very smooth. We like so far. I'm gonna blend the edge of that out with a clean brush. On my BH number 6, I'm gonna go into the purple shade right next to that and put that through the rest of the crease area. Again, just blending that out with a blending brush that doesn't have any extra product on it. I'm gonna take my MAC 221 brush and I'm gonna go into this kind of plum shade here. This looks like it might have a little hint of a shimmer to it, but it looks mostly matte, so hopefully this will do well through the crease area. So I'm going to use that more concentrated through the crease. Just to add a little bit of depth under those two shades, I think the plum will kind of work with both of them. I'm going to add a little bit of that to the outer corner too. On BH number 7, I'm going to go into a little bit of this matte yellow, and I'm going to put that along the nose bridge area where we put down that orange. Just blend it like right up into the brow. This is something I like to do once in a while. It kind of just adds a little bit more color without really adding a whole lot to the look. It's just like an interesting little, ooh, what's that over there? I'm going to take a little bit more of that same plum shade, but this time I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the black, tap it off my brush, and just do the same thing, but do it a little bit more light-handed. Just deepen it up a little bit more, but I don't want to go too crazy with that. On the inner portion, I'm going to create a little bit more space for us to put down a nice bright shimmer by using a concealer and cutting the crease. So just like earlier, I'm taking my light concealer, I'm picking it up on a NABLA cut crease maker brush. I'm just going to carve out right on the inner corner here and then blend it out toward the outside. I'm just going to tap over the edge with my finger. We'll blend more later, but that just helps us get the party started. I'm going to grab my MAC 242S, and I'm going to go into this shimmering gold, packing that around the inner corner. I'm not going to bring it all the way into the inner corner because I'm going to make that a little bit brighter. I'm going to take that same brush. I'm going to go into this copper shade here, put that down next to the gold, and blend the two together by just tapping over onto the gold area with that. For the inner corner, I'm going to grab a pencil brush and I'm going to go into this shade here. It almost looks matte on camera, but it's a little bit shimmery and it's kind of like a yellow reflective sort of a shade. I'm going to pop that right on the inner corner and a little bit over the first gold that we put down. I'm just cleaning off that same pencil brush. I'm going to take a little bit of the copper shade and a little bit of this pewter shade here just to darken it, and I'm going to tap that right at the end of that copper shade to mix it in with the darker matte shades that we put on the end of the eye. I'm also going to pick up a little bit of that plum shade and start tapping that over the edge too to blend that in more as well. Initially I wasn't like going for a sunset thing, but that's what we got for sure. We got sunset vibes. I concealed and powdered, and for the lower lash line I kind of want to switch it up from these sunset shades because that's not where my head was at. I quite frankly don't know how we wound up here, although it does look pretty. I mean, I do know how we wound up here because I'm the one who did it, but you know what I mean? It wasn't my plan. So I'm going to go into this green shade here, which is a little bit shimmery, but it almost looks like kind of like a satin shade. I'm picking that up on a BH number 7. I'm going to start buffing that into the lower lash line. I'm going to bring it almost all the way into the inner corner. Blend the edge of that out with a clean blending brush. I'm going to take a pencil brush. I'm going to use this shimmer green shade right here. It's kind of like an olivey green shade, but I think it should still work pretty nicely. And I'm going to use that on the inner portion of the lower lash line. I'm going to stick with the greeny gold shades for the waterline, so I'm going to take Urban Decay Mildew, go through my waterline with that. Okay, I did House of Lashes Stella Luxe. I went ahead and touched up my skin with the same bronzer and blush we used from the palette earlier, just where I messed it up from like the under eye area, you know what I mean? Lip for this one, I'm also going juicy nude-ish, but this time I'm going to do more in the mauve vein of things. I'm going to use the same two products in different colors though, because I do like the way these work together. This is the Haus Labs Rip Lip Pencil in the color Myth. And in this center, I'm going to go with the Dreamy Creamy Lipstick from NABLA in the color Eve. And this is the second look. So my thoughts on this palette. There are 24 shades, 2 blushes, 2 bronzers. Overall, I think the quality is pretty decent. $24.50 is not like the lowest price point in the world, but if you needed blushes and bronzers in that vein and you also wanted like a semi-colorful palette, I could see this being a decent addition to your collection if you're somebody who doesn't already have a ton of stuff. However, if you're like a makeup lover, I don't think that this is going to do anything special for you, honestly. That being said, the quality is pretty good. It's not amazing, The colors seem pretty pigmented upon first application and they do blend out really easily, but a lot of the vibrancy of them tends to blend away. I also feel like the color story outside of the neutral shades, they could have like packed a little bit more of a punch. Like the blue could have been more of a vibrant blue or had like a little bit more of a shimmer to it. And the same thing for the green, the same thing for the gold. It all could have been amped up a little bit more and I think it would have made for a better palette. But overall, I do like the way that these two looks turned out, and it wasn't like I had to struggle to get there. It just wasn't like it was knocking my socks off. You know what I mean? Especially with the first look, I felt like if I didn't add the Stella liquid eyeshadow to the top of it, it would have been kind of flat. I feel like every like 6 months or so, I pick up a NYX palette forgetting that this is exactly how I feel about them almost every time. Like they're okay, but not great. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you find yourself feeling the same way about the NYX eyeshadow formula. Usually I find myself gravitating more toward NYX's lip products and their eyeliners. But yeah, whatever your experience is with NYX shadows or this palette specifically, let me know in a comment down below. Also, let me know if you remember if taupe was the actual name of that blush that I was talking about that everybody used to contour with, because it's really making me crazy that I can't remember it right now. Go ahead and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, because it's very helpful to me and I would really appreciate it. And also, if you are new around here, please don't forget to subscribe, because I would just be chuffed to have you around for more videos. If you want to keep up with me between these videos, I'm at Miss Quidface over on Instagram. It's a good ass time over there, both on my timeline and in my stories, and I would love to have you. My battery's about to die, which means, you know what? That's all for today. My camera is telling me what's up. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.